officially say it now. Thanksgiving's done.
Bring on the red and green.
That's right. I am Cammie, the hooked Hardy. And you all know my...
The hawk-eyed Hardy.
We have a really, really exciting show for you today. We are talking to one of our favorite people, and we're doing double duty here. We are going to talk about his time as a bad guy and his time as a good guy. So here he is. So, Hardies, please welcome the man of the hour, Mr. Mark Brandon. Hi, Mark.
Your ex-governor.
Ex or axe?
Yeah, axe. Actually, yeah, no kidding. You saw that picture I sent you, right? Where
yeah.
Ben and I are talking at the saloon. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, Hardies. He sent me a picture that I'm going to post. Don't worry. So yes, we have the bad guy, good guy to talk about. So should we get the bad guy out of the way first?
Yeah. It's really funny. Sometimes I'll get some posts that will say, on some of the sites, Mark, you were such a bad guy or so corrupt and blah blah, and I write back, I say, listen, if you hated me, I did my job. That's the way I feel about it. Really, that you have an assignment, you carry it out. If you're successful, people will not like you. If you're playing, bad guy.
That's what Marcus Rosner told us when we interviewed him, and he told us about his time on When Calls the Heart. He said, I knew that I was sealing my fate as the hated man because his character proposed to Elizabeth and beat Jack to the punch.
I did not know that. Yes,
Marcus Rosner proposed. Now, she said no, but we didn't see that part at the end of season 2. We just saw Jack standing outside the door looking livid. So
it's funny. I think I shared with you last time we talked that I really wanted to be on the show for years because I had lots of friends who were on and off it again, and period stuff. So much fun to play.
Much.
So I was so grateful. I wrote Brian Bird and I said, thank you for the job. I said, I've been wanting to do this for years. And he was so sweet. He wrote back, says, we're glad to have you on board, Mark. He says, it's just too bad you're a bad guy. Yeah. And I said, that's quite all right. I mean, I'm just glad to be part of the show. It was a hoot. It's an unforgettable experience. Lots of great folks.
Well, and I think the thing with When Calls the Heart is I don't think anybody's fate is ever sealed, because if the show sticks around long enough, there can be a redemption storyline. There's the possibility.
I was hoping to come back as a judge, something like that. Kicked out of
or
office.
You can be like a twin brother of the governor.
There you go.
The not so evil twin, right? The nice twin.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's going on with the fan base? I understand there's some grumblings going on with the love story here.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you, Mark. I hate to break this to you, but not only are you a bad guy, but you are the reason that Elizabeth and Lucas broke up, because he moved to go be governor.
Ay. Uh-oh.
So you're either the person people are hating right now, or you're the person they're loving, depending on which side they're on.
Yeah, depending on which team they're on. So
well, I don't know. It's a soap opera first before it's anything. That's the way I feel. From listening to a lot of the fans. So
it has become such, yes.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were upset that because they were hoping for the marriage. I know there was a lot of folks talking about them getting married.
Yeah, I mean, they were engaged, and they were planning the wedding, and then she broke up with him standing on the train platform to get on the train to go to Capital City. So Yeah. You missed
Yeah.
that. You missed that
Little,
episode.
yeah, little bit of a plot twist.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I was indirectly responsible for the breakup.
Well,
Yep.
they had to save the town, so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Most
be interesting how it
important.
develops. It depends on if it goes into another season. What's the word? Have you heard anything?
Oh, they've wrapped season 11.
I know
So
they've done it. Yeah. Did anyone talk about 12?
not
They
yet.
haven't said anything yet. I'm sure
Okay.
there's talks, but yeah, they haven't said anything about 12 yet. But they've heavily implied that they're going a different direction with Chris McNally's character. He's still on the show. He's still
He's
going
still
to be
there.
on the show.
Well, that's good.
They're,
That's good.
But they're putting him in that political realm and having him that be his main storyline for now.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe he and I will have more business together.
You never know.
Yeah. Did I tell you that when we were rehearsing the governor's arrival and I had to step out of that old Model T, I was struggling so badly. I thought I was going to fall on my face. And I think I sent a picture to Cammie.
I don't remember this.
Oh, okay. It was just the picture of us rehearsing the arrival where I stood up and listened to them sing. But I had to get out of the car and go shake hands and meet everybody.
Right.
But Chris came forward, and it wasn't even in the script. He came forward and he held his hand out and helped me out of the car. And I've always thought that was, really, I mean, as a human being, I thought that was quite extraordinary. Says a lot about Chris.
Yeah. That's in the final show, and that I remember seeing that and thinking that was a nice thing of Lucas.
Yeah, that's the final cut.
Yeah.
Consistent with his character too, and yeah, it's funny the things we do at the last minute when the camera's rolling. We just come up with ideas. I mean, we try to plan to do our best, but now and then there are just things that just happen, like that shot I sent you today.
Right.
The director was just taking shots, random shots all around the saloon of the ball. And I said to Ben, I said, when she gets to us, let's talk more conspiracies. Okay, so we started talking in hushed tones, and I thought it really worked.
Yeah, the moment we saw that you were in cahoots with Ben, we said it's all over for Governor Balfour, because Ben is constantly playing the bad guy, the murdered one. So.
He knows it too. He plays a lot of bad guys in Hallmark movies.
Oh, and he knows it. I'm glad he knows it.
He does. Yeah.
It was funny because I was actually saying to Sarah, he finally made it to When Calls the Heart, because he's been playing. Yeah, he's been playing the bad guy or the murdered guy for years. And I wondered when he was going to make it onto When Calls the Heart, and the two of you made it on in the same season.
That's wild. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, it was good. It's good to work closer with him.
So what was your favorite part about playing Governor Balfour?
Favorite part?
Because the last time we talked to you about being governor, everything was hush hush, but now it's all out in the open. So
yeah, and this conversation we're having right now should have gone on earlier if it wasn't for the strike. We could have talked earlier about it.
Right, happy that it's over because we get to talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm glad you still want to. Let's see. The favorite part, Cammie, I know this is going to sound corny. Maybe I sound like a broken record, but honest to God, I loved everything in the show. Everything. All my scenes. I don't think there was one scene I liked more than the other. I did enjoy holding up the Medal of Honor and pinning it,
on Kevin.
Yeah. Thank you.
Huh.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think because it was a solemn moment. It was kind of nice. I enjoyed the writing, to be able to say. In fact, the original writing was it was called the Governor's Medal of Bravery, and I said to the director, I pulled her aside. I said, "Look, I'm ex-military. I know medals. This would not be called a Medal of Bravery. You don't hand out medals. You hand out medals for bravery, but you don't call them bravery medals. You call them Medal of Honor or Silver Star or Bronze Star. And I said, so I'd like to call this the Governor's Medal of Honor. And she goes, all right, go for it.
That's
So
awesome.
I changed it. Yeah, I changed it. I thought it would be kind of repetitious to say we're handing out this medal for his bravery, and then here's the Governor's Medal of Bravery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the Medal of Honor was just it was more solemn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And more realistic. I think that's great Hardee's will always pick up on how true to real life something is. Hence why they were like, why is there even a governor in Canada?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I thought that too. And I forgot, one of the producers said to me, he says, oh, Mark, don't worry about it. We a lot of things, crisscross through this intersection. And I said, oh, okay. And I sort of just went along with it. But later on, I found out months after I shot it that Canada did have some territorial governors. So it's actually feasible.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's feasible, believe it or not. Yeah.
And they specifically said the territory in the script.
Yeah.
I remember them saying that. So
yeah. In fact, one of my lines was I had to say, this is not going to go on as long as I'm governor of this fair territory. That was one of my lines.
Yeah.
But I took the word fair out of it because I just said that's just a little too corny. They were okay with it. That's the nice thing about Hallmark. If you argue your position logically and say I would not like to say this or I would like to say this instead, they're very open. I've noticed that about all the Hallmark directors. They're very good about that.
Nice.
That is nice.
Well, given his angles for his dealings, it doesn't make sense that he would be referring to them as fair anyway. So.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Yeah.
I think one of the best things about you as the governor, it was great writing and it was great acting on your part. But
thank you.
Well, I'm gonna say that.
That's what I paid the big bucks for.
Checks in the mail, right?
The checks in the mail. Yeah.
But
I'll pick up your coffee next time in Texas again. Then.
Coffee.
Yeah. That's why.
I see how I got away with that. Yeah.
Well, that brings me straight to my point, because the way that you were saying things when everybody was in the office, you were manipulating it to make it sound like you were doing the right thing for the territory and you were doing what was needed for the people. And I just went,
of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, of course. I in his mind, he's not that much of a bad guy.
But the second they walk out, he says to Lucas, "Okay, you're in now. Let's
Well, yeah. I think the first thing I said to him, I always knew you were a smart guy or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made me sound like a gangster, I think.
That is why the headlights on Lucas's face at the end of the episode, because we were all thinking gangster. We were in gangster mode. We're like, oh, he's about to get his.
What handed to him.
He's about to get beaten half to death in that rainy road.
Yeah.
So and we wondered if that was you. If that was you turning on those headlights in the season finale. So
yeah. I really don't know.
It still could be.
It still could be. Oh goodness. So, but yeah, I think that was one of your best moments, was when you were just manipulating everything to make it sound like that's what had to happen. That was the best choice for the territory. And then Elizabeth goes out and boom, drop the charade, everything's out.
That was the choice I made. It was to justify, what I was doing.
Well, good choice.
Thank you. I felt perfectly justified in selling, in pitching, what I had to do. It was for the for the good of everyone involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greater
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
For the greater good. There you go. There you go.
Right.
Yeah. And Jack, I I told him later on when the room emptied out and it was just he and I, and we were the last ones kind of shuffling out. I told him how much I really, really admired going toe to toe with him. I said, "Boy, you're really giving it." And I said, I love when actors, just tear your nose off.
There,
He's just so doggone good.
there is something so adrenalating,
Oh,
adrenaline rushing. There is
you coined
something.
a new one there, adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I'm coining new vocabulary. What can I say? But there is something that really makes the adrenaline pump when you are standing toe to toe with an actor who is as committed to the project as you are, and whether it's a romantic scene, a tense scene, whatever the scene may be, if you both are fully committed to the bit and you can see it in each other's eyes, there is something that just really gives you a rush when you're in a scene like that.
Oh yeah. Is this a good segue to go into Miss Christmas Comes to Town?
Let's do it.
Okay. Because that's what I found out about Barbara. I've only, had just brief brushes with her on Chesapeake Shores and never had a chance to work with her in this intimate way for this Christmas movie. So it was a great surprise to see such an open, sensitive human being. You just felt like she just opened up portions of her heart when she talked to you. And I returned the favor. I said, well, here's mine too. It was a very, very lovely exchange. In fact, the director said he liked our chemistry.
I'm gonna cry.
It was just a simple matter of just being simple and honest and not really layering it up with a bunch of acting choices. Just being there for each other, I think, was what made it work. Yeah, yeah, that was a good. It was a good subplot, a good B plot.
It was a really good
fabulous, and it played directly into the main plot very well. So it really made for it. Sometimes the B plots are very separate, and you're kind of like, okay, that was just thrown in to fill space, and this was very integral to her story.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed reading it, Sarah. I thought it was an intelligent script. It wasn't a lot of the fluff and formula that you see sometimes. This was substantial. I enjoyed the writing very much.
I agree.
In fact, and I was touched by. I'm always touched by unrequited love. When I see that in the script, I just go, "Oh my goodness! I wish I could play this part." And here I am. I got a chance. Yeah, it was good.
I kept on taking screenshots whenever you came on screen. Like, oh, yes. Oh, you want to talk corny? That was me watching the movie.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Well, thank you.
Well, and
really
Cammie made her big exception to her rule for you because she never watches Christmas movies before Thanksgiving.
Before Halloween. Thank you.
Okay. But it used to be Thanksgiving when I met you.
It used to be, long time ago. But yes, I broke my rule for you, Mark.
Oh, thank you, Cammie. Yeah, thank you.
But I have to say, the moment when she faints.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up as well.
Oh my gosh. When Brendan's character is just down there doing everything so matter-of-factly because he's doing his job, he's in his element, he knows what's going on, and just, okay, call 911, put it on speakerphone, please. I'm just like, wow, he's so calm and cool, but yeah, he's a nurse. He knows what he's doing.
He's used to it, yeah.
Yeah, and then that split second, what is she taking the medication for? And he's like, oh gosh, do I say it? Brain cancer. And then I took a screenshot. The heartbreak on your face. Oh my gosh. And then picking up like it not like it never happened, because it was there, but saying that's why we move forward. And oh, I wanted to bawl.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no.
That's a good
what
thing.
I picked up on, Mark, in that scene was the initial shock on your face, but almost then an understanding of like, now it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. Now that's why she's been pushing me away, and just that realization of like, now I know everything. Now it's not, now I'm not wondering why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys are, you really, yeah, good critical faculties. You really take this stuff apart. I admire that.
We do, especially when we cover it.
Well, yeah, some people are just, oh, did you like it or not? And you just get a little fluff in the comments on Facebook or something. But I just admire how the two of you, you really intellectualize and take things apart. And I agree with you 99% of the time.
You should hear when we're on the phone together. It gets bad.
The initial reactions when we're watching things, yeah.
Yeah, the good long distance plan, I take it. Oh, well, you can use Apple phone, right? You can use, Facebook.
We use all kinds of things.
We lucked out to be in this age of technology. If we'd tried to be friends 20 years ago, it might have been a lot more expensive.
Don't even say it. No, don't even say it. Okay, Mark, did you have a favorite scene in Miss Christmas?
Yeah, I enjoyed shocking her with the flowers, and then going back into the tent to talk, because that was our catch-up period. I'd written all these letters and she never answered a single one of them, and so that to me was a make or break moment for me as my character. I really wanted to connect, and hopefully she would agree, but she didn't, and that left me kind of like, whew, I felt like I had the wind knocked out of my lungs,
Well, you put your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah, I did. I revealed, how I felt, and then I, always thought about her. And then to be turned down, that felt pretty rough. I liked that scene as an actor. That's what we say, a scene, you can chew on. Or words you can chew on, chew up the scenery. This is what you like to have, stuff like that. And the other scene that I liked with Barbara was visiting her in the hospital after she collapsed, because we tried to keep it light, about boy, we never had good timing, did we? But at the end, she invites me home for Christmas, so that was like, wow, the whole reason, for our storyline came to fruition right there. So I enjoy those two scenes the most, probably. So there you go.
Well, and like I always love it when actors play actors. I just think it's funny. So, because you played a soap opera actor but
that was easy for me, because all I had to do was just be myself. I just talked, regularly. And what this is leading to is the fact that if you have to play an actor who is not a professional actor, how can I put this? Lots of times when actors play an actor, they'll play it real hammy and poorly. So that, you know what I mean?
So that you can see the difference between. So you're like, oh, he's playing now.
And for me, there was no difference, because there was always reference to I'm still on the soap. It's still my career. I'm getting ready to retire. So I didn't have to change anything, fortunately. Otherwise, it might have been different. It might not have worked.
Well, and like a true actor, you didn't take no for an answer. You got up and you came back.
Sure did. Yeah.
But you kept it really cool. Just, hi. Oh, yeah, I'm here. It wasn't this, I'm here, I'm professing my love for you. It's like, hey, I want to get back together, talk about lost times. You up for that?
That was the plan, yeah. If you recall, we almost got married. We just drifted apart because of, Hollywood.
Yeah. I always wanted a storyline of marrying a high school sweetheart. I just have always thought that was so romantic, and it broke my heart when it turned out that I wasn't going to marry either of my high school boyfriends, but turned out for the better, trust me. But,
Okay. Yeah,
but,
Bill, can you hear this?
but the fact that you guys were high school sweethearts in theater together, I thought I was gonna die. I'm like, okay,
That's a Hallmark moment, isn't it?
11 on the cuteness meter,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I was so glad that it was this poignant of a movie. It was just such Hallmark, the ones that air on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries are always so much more heartfelt and tugging at your heartstrings. I think I've cried at every one of the ones Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. They're always so much deeper and more thought-provoking.
well,
but
yeah.
but I really enjoyed seeing you in one of those. That was
thanks.
I love the fun ones and the cute ones, of course, but it was nice to do this for
well,
a change.
that's what I told the producer when I was working post-production sound on it. I said, thank you for allowing me to be part of this. I said, because it's such a substantial script. And she went, oh yeah, it's so well written. Parts like this don't come along very often, and they don't.
No, that's
lovely. I was pretty fortunate. What else was I going to add to that? I forgot. Anyway, Bob, you're supposed to ask the questions. Come on, there's two of you now.
Just waiting for the opportunity.
Okay.
So you've played the poignant, you've played the comedic more, you've played bad guys, you've played good guys. What is still on your wish list?
Oh man, I can tell you without hesitating, it is to be in a real good Western. I would love to be in one of those. And I wouldn't mind being in a sci-fi either, spacecraft and all that kind of thing. I like
can
sci-fi.
totally see you in a sci-fi.
Oh, I love sci-fi. Love it. I've loved it since I was a kid. I was a big Jules Verne, H.G. Wells fan when I was a kid. I read all those books. Yeah.
I mean, can't you just see him, Sarah, in the black turtleneck and the, being a leader of some kind of force in a
absolutely
sci-fi? Oh yeah, I can totally.
That would be fun. On my Facebook, I don't know if you saw it, but I published a photo of me and a pilot for NBC, and I was in an orange astronaut's outfit.
An astronaut.
Yes. Because I said, you're not an astronaut.
I know you did, and that was as close as I came. That one to a sci-fi.
So a sci-fi or a Western? If you had to pick between the two, which one would it be?
Yeah, Western, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely Western. Yeah. I love riding horses and wearing all that gear. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Now, who would you be in the Western?
Yeah, do you want to be the sheriff or the gunslinger?
Probably an aging lawman.
Who can be like imparting wisdom to the next generation.
Probably, yeah. Now come here, boy, let me show you how this is done. This is how you load a 45.
Retire to a farm with your wife, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you come out of retirement because of the bad guys, right?
That's nice.
Now, see, that's different. That's different. Coming out of retirement because somebody's back on the scene. That's an entirely different plot line right there.
Like that. Yeah, that would work for me. I'd definitely show up. I'd do that.
Now, do we need to write another script?
I was gonna say, so like what time frame? What is this, like in the past?
Oh, 1880s. Definitely.
1880s, okay.
Because that seemed to be the pinnacle of the Wild West, the lawlessness, the frontier, Tombstone and Dodge City and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, Sarah, I think that's 3-4 scripts we need to write now.
Yeah, we've got a long list.
We've got a list.
That sounds good, though.
Sure, yeah. Write me apart. Definitely do it.
Well, Mark, we don't want to take up too much of your time, but we are so happy that you joined us today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Yeah, well, it's always nice to see you and talk to you both. And I think that's 80% of why I checked in, just to say hi.
Oh, so sweet. Yes, we were.
Okay.
I told my daughter I'd say this.
Oh,
She had put on some mysteries the other day, and I was cooking a bunch of Thanksgiving stuff the day before Thanksgiving, and so I wasn't paying attention. And I heard your voice. And I had
Really?
to turn. She had Martha's Vineyard Mysteries on, and I was like, "That's Mark." And I had to come in and see what she was watching. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. That's
Which I
funny.
knew you were in, but I didn't know that's what she was watching. So I heard the voice, and I was like, "Wait."
I
Did
know
Mark come
that
in? What? I don't recall letting him in the house. Where?
that happened to me the other day. I was doing housework and I had the TV on. Like, wait, I know that face.
Oh, that guy.
It's fun to go back and see you in all of the older stuff.
Well, yeah, the older stuff, I don't know. Most of it's very, very small parts, and then every once in a while, I get a really nice, kick up like the governor or James, when Miss Christmas comes to town. Yeah, once in a while, it's nice, and then, it seems to be getting that way more and more. Which I think, unfortunately, Hallmark's probably, green lighting me more when I'm up for something, and the producers have to, get network approval.
Well, we vote for you.
And now that they've seen you do these two lovely roles, I think they can see that range. Sometimes there's like, oh, this person is good at this kind of thing, so they're waiting for that type of part to come up again. But no,
That's so true, Sarah.
you
You're
can
bang
go
on.
both ways. So
Yeah. I've had years now to prove myself. I've played different levels, different things, so I've shown range. You're absolutely right. Yeah, they're not saying, oh, he's just good for this or he's good for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we go, I have a couple of fun holiday questions for you.
Okay. I hope they're not too painful.
Oh, they shouldn't be.
Okay.
So number one, what is your favorite holiday tradition that either you did as a boy or that you do in your own family?
A holiday tradition?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's funny? It's different from an adult and a boy. And a boy, it was like the holiday tradition was going over to grandma and grandpa's, for the big Christmas dinner. And as an adult, it's being in the tropics for a Christmas dinner in a Hawaiian shirt. That to me is fun. That's a fun tradition.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like you like Christmas dinner, is what that sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. Once again, Sarah. Yeah, I think the food comes through unmistakably as the theme there, doesn't it?
Okay, so speaking of food, what is your favorite Christmas treat?
Christmas treat?
Mm-hmm.
I like turkey or ham, one or the other.
That's not a treat.
That's not. Oh, you treat. Oh, that's right. Thank you. I got to be led, over. My wife knows that I have an absolute weakness for pumpkin pie. You wave one of those under my nose, I'll tell you where the gold's buried.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Yes, now we know. All right. This is probably the most controversial one.
Uh-oh.
White lights or colored lights?
Oh.
White lights or colored lights?
Mm.
Boy, I like them both, and I'm one of these. God, when I thought of that saying, I like them both, I sound like I'm going back to When Calls the Heart. I liked every scene. That's so wishy-washy.
What would you put on your Christmas tree if you got to pick?
Tree? Definitely colored.
White.
Definitely colored.
Okay, Cammie, you won this one.
Okay. You know what? I like white on the exterior of the house, like snowflakes and things like that. I think that's just beautiful. I like the way that just, it's like crystals. But in the house, on the tree, I would go for color.
Okay. All right. You half and half.
See, kind of half and
half. Okay.
Okay. Cocoa or cider?
Cocoa.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
All you got? Okay.
Okie dokie. How about you, Sarah? Any questions before we go?
Burning questions.
Yeah, no, they don't have to be burning, but I just was curious if you had anything to ask before I go.
Oh, I did think of one. I did think of one more.
She's got another one.
Do you have one, hun?
I was gonna ask, have you ever gone to an ugly sweater Christmas party?
No, I don't like ugly Christmas sweaters. I think
I don't think
they
anybody
belong.
does. No.
I think they belong on the bottom shelf at Walmart. That's my feeling about it.
I better hide what I'm wearing.
Yeah. But we're friends on Facebook, so when you see me publish something that I've been cast in, feel free to contact me about that if you want to talk about that show. If I do another Hallmark or something,
we would be thrilled to do so.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I have to ask this of an actor. I just have to. Favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Christmas movie?
And I mean, it can be a Hallmark, but I'm not talking exclusive favorite Hallmark Christmas movie. I'm talking about Christmas classics, anything like that.
I'll go first. Mine is White Christmas.
Okay.
Mine is Muppet Christmas Carol and the Muppet Family Christmas. It's not Christmas until I watch those two.
That's your sense of humor showing. Yeah. I think the Muppets are so cute. I like various renditions of the original Dickens classic. I've always liked that Scrooge thing, and every year, this is funny. My wife makes me watch The Grinch That Stole Christmas, the old cartoon from the '60s.
Yeah.
That one's good too.
Yeah, but narrated by Boris Karloff. That's so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My kids were just watching it the other day, so.
My wife watches it every year.
Certain things you have to watch. It's just part of the season.
It's the tradition that she loves doing that. And speaking of tradition, I'm sure I won't be seeing you around Christmas. We'll all be so busy, and I'll be traveling as well. So I want to wish you both a real happy and Merry Christmas for you and your family.
So you heard it from the man himself, a very happy and Merry Christmas. Hopefully Sarah and I will be on again before Christmas to talk about another movie or two. But if it doesn't happen, Merry Christmas to all of you. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.